Greetings from paradise on day 4 of our 14-day window here at the Target Maui Pro. Stop number 10 on the Samsung Galaxy Women's Championship Tour, the final event, and we have a world title showdown that's going to play out here on these beautiful waves at Honolua Bay. Ronnie Blakey joined by 9-time national South African champ Rosie Hodge and another of one of South Africa's other finest, Martin Potter, 89 world champ. Good to have you guys on the show this morning.
Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie. Good morning.
Big news yesterday, Bruce Irons is going to be in the Pipe Masters. Obviously a great reaction to that online, but also some big news unfolding here, a world title showdown that we're all getting excited about getting underway. Maybe it'll happen today, we'll get the call shortly, but you know, what else has been happening here, Rosie, on Maui?
Well, it's just been so interesting. I mean, you know, you get a couple of lay days, you get to acclimatise to your surroundings. You know, there's so much to see and do here on Maui. So I think a lot of the time for the ladies, it's really just, you know, catching up with the girls again. I mean, you guys have been off for a little while. You get to hang out with your friends again, get to, you know, see what's been happening in the off season.
It's hard not to feel like you're on holiday here in Maui. It's and you got to keep those competitive juices flowing somewhat. Courtney there with her mum, Nikki Van Dyke, but it is, I mean, it's hard not to go around and check out all these beautiful spots. I mean, it's one of the most picturesque places on the planet. Life
is a holiday for us, Potts. And Tatiana Weston-Webb, the rookie, on fire, enjoying her time here on Maui, as is Lakey Peterson. The women have been finding some small waves to tap into. They're staying sharp for the start of this contest.
Well, that's the great thing about Maui. You know, you go around the corner and you can definitely find a wave there somewhere where the swell's coming in. So Hopekeeper's been one of the spots of choice, and it's interesting to see a 6'6".
I know.
So getting on bigger equipment, I don't know what she's expecting.
Yeah, I mean, she said she's been learning a lot from Courtney. Courtney rode bigger boards at Margaret River, so Carissa on a 6'6", I like it.
Beautiful.
Foam's your friend.
Well, let's see if that 6'6" is going to get put to use this morning. We'll check in with Strider Wasilewski and Deputy Commissioner Jessie Miley-Dyer for the call.
Right on. Thanks, guys. Down here with Jessie Miley-Dyer, the commissioner for the women's tour. This morning looks a lot like yesterday morning, Jess.
It does. You know, it's still really small. We're still going to be off for today. I still hold faith that we're going to get something in this waiting period. But being here at Honolua, sometimes you just have to, you know, wait that little bit longer than we would somewhere else.
Well, unfortunately, no surf today. But you know, anything you're going to get into today?
Yeah, you know, I've been talking to some of the women about doing a couple of little adventures here and there. You know, there's some amazing snorkeling here. Tyler Wright wants to go fishing. I'm terrible at fishing, so I'm kind of not into that option. But, you know, there's so many things to do here on this island, and, you know, it's only the boring get bored.
Well, maybe get out to the 7 sacred pools of Hana, a beautiful place, one of the 7 wonders of the world, I tell you. Hopefully we'll get under competition very soon.
Jessie Miley-Dyer there, one of the best performers here at Honolua Bay in past times. But you can see it is quite flat. Probably a good day for me to get out at Jaws, I'd say. Have a little bit of a paddle around the lineup. But not a lot happening on the forecast today. But, you know, that swell's starting to look good. Let's have a look at the forecast and see what's coming our way, Rosie.
Yeah, you can see that potential for the larger northwest swell late November, early December. You know, that's what we're really holding on to. Jessie says that she's optimistic for the end of the waiting period, or that part of it. You know, that's what she's looking at, that 4 to 5, 4 to 6 foot range there for Friday.
Yeah, I think that's, well, you know, we're gonna have to pull the trigger sooner or later. I think Friday's looking pretty good. So fingers crossed, the swell sneaks in here and we get some competition underway.
Well, stick around because a very special guest joining us up next, Sally Fitzgibbons, the current world number 3.
It's one of the best waves in the world. Honolua Bay really puts the dream to the dream tour. When you're driving down the dirt road, you park along the cliff, you see the waves coming through from the top of the point all the way to the cave, and it's just really special. Being from Hawaii, it's really special just to island up over here and be able to surf on Maui, and definitely feel at home a little more. I'm so close to home, and just the feeling and the people around you it's different here, and I love to be back. There's multiple sections here at Honolua, and you have the point, and then you have the middle of the cave where the contest usually runs, and then you have keiki bowls. This place really likes the northwest wall, and that's where the cave works and has the barrel and the power, and the keiki bowl kind of comes at you and you get a really good end section hit, and north swells really kind of break to the point more. What I love the most about Honolua is just the way it shifts and gives you a challenge every day and every swell. And it could be playful, it could be powerful, it's shifty, it's just an amazing wave to experience, and to see huge sets rolling through and a barrel just coming from the cave all the way into keiki bowls is just an amazing sight.
Welcome back to Dawn Patrol. Ronnie Blakey joined by Rosie Hodge and our very special guest for the show today, current world number 3, Sally Fitzgibbons. Good morning, Sal.
Good morning, guys.
Thanks for getting on the desk with us and having a chat.
No, it's good to check in with you guys. It's been a few lay days now, so it's good to get the vibe of being back at the Bay, and this potential swell coming is exciting.
Sal, tell us a little bit about what's been going on in your life. You've got a disco ball on your finger. What's going on there?
It's been a bit of an exciting, time since France, since our European leg, and went away and went, on vacation. I haven't been on a non-working holiday, I think, since I was about 10. And went away with my then boyfriend and came back engaged. So I'm pretty excited to have a fiance and someone to enjoy the ride and journey with me.
Beautiful.
And obviously, Sally, you're so close to your family, and we just look at you and Trent. You said yes, obviously, and just amazing. You know, you can see the happiness just glowing on your face. And obviously, you're so close to your family. They'll probably, your mom, Mary, super excited for you, your brothers, and then we also see you traveling with your dad a lot. So, the reaction from them. And will we see your dad or Trent traveling with you next year?
Oh, I think it was a bit of a surprise. It was definitely a spontaneous time in our life, but it really brings your family super close together, and just for everyone, for my fiance Trent's family as well, to all come together and celebrate. Just really special moment, and I think it's definitely capped off the year. Nothing will really beat that.
So I think in Australia what people want to know is, are you going to be barracking for Penrith next year, or are you going to stick with St George? Because Trent's changing teams.
I've got to follow my heart, so I think I'm going to be transitioning into a Panther, which is pretty big news in Australian rugby leagues for Rosie. So, no.
Well, Mick Fanning will be happy. That's his team as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But let's get back to your performances this year. I think Fiji will go down as probably the gutsiest performance we've ever seen on the Women's Championship Tour. Do you reflect on that event now as the highlight of your career?
Well, I think this year, it's just there's been a few sort of ups and downs to the year, and there was a couple of narrow misses that's put me in third and just out of that title race, which is really tough being the competitor I am. But I sat back, at the end of the European leg and said, this year was my year for big moments. I'm really going to sit back and be proud of what I did at Fiji, and to come back and persevere and have to wear the helmet and kind of surf with that perforated eardrum for, I think it was 5 months. It was pretty wild and a bit of a crazy injury, but I don't think, looking back at this footage, I wouldn't change it for the world. This will be a moment that I can look back on in my career and just draw confidence from and just say that happened.
Describe the pain that you felt, because I was almost crying just watching you in that much pain. It was hard to see.
I think that on my face you can see I was just got tape all over my head, and there was just a lot of things going on, mixed emotions, but it was just this euphoric feeling that I've won this event, and then this feeling of like I'm in extreme pain, and that night, it got to about midnight, and I came down a little bit off that high, and I just started, I guess, throwing up. Like, I was just vomiting profusely from midnight till 6 in the morning, just from pure exhaustion. I just gave it everything I had, and my body just went shut down. And I was hanging off that balcony in Fiji, off the little hut, and my dad was there helping me out, and he's like, it's all part of the ride. And I was like, it's worth it. Yeah, my body's just so distraught, but I think that's all part of it. That's what made it so special.
I would have had the same reaction for different reasons if I won a CT event in Fiji. But stay with us, because after the break, more with Sally Fitzgibbons. Welcome back to Dawn Patrol. We're loving having Sally Fitzgibbons on the show with us this morning. And Sal, I never know what you're up to these days. You've got your life on the championship tour, but there's so many other things happening in your world. Give us the latest. What are you into?
It's been, I guess, a year of change off the board as well. So those inspirations that are keeping me ticking, it's been sort of 7 years of near misses for that world title hunt, and I'll never lose the desire to chase the world title. That's a given. I'm always going to try and become a better athlete. But off the board, I had this drive and vision to become a businesswoman, to start my own brand and sort of grow that Live Like Sally movement that I started with by publishing my first book. And it's been a learning experience, learning curve, but I say if you surround yourself in that environment to help yourself grow and I guess not be the smartest person in the room is key. So we're moving forward. I've got a big launch just before Christmas, which will be the launch for my foundation. The Sally Fitzgibbons Foundation will be targeted at childhood obesity. So we'll be in the middle of Martin Place in Sydney, in the city, and it's just going to be a full celebration, of all things lifestyle, fitness, health, and being active and moving and getting this generation, off the couch and back into sport and outdoors.
Beautiful. And you mentioned there, off the board, a lot of changes, but on the board, some changes as well. You've got a different looking quiver for this event.
I'll be transitioning from my old equipment and just looking for change again, looking for those 1%ers. It's been a great ride up until now with Firewire. They're a fantastic brand, and now I'm just sort of looking for a different feel under my feet. So I've worked with JS on a quiver for here, and we'll move forward and see how we can try and improve my surfing again.
Beautiful.
Well, Sally, I've always said, surfing's really lucky to have you. You're so talented. You played soccer for Australia. You're a middle distance junior Olympians. So, you know, you're always drawing inspiration from other sports. What is it about the different sports codes that keep you inspired, and who are the champions that you look up to?
Yeah, I think just as the importance for me on cross-pollinating across other sports and drawing from my background, not sort of forgetting the past. I think that shaped me as the athlete I am today, and I'm really proud of that knowledge that I know about how my body ticks and what I'm training, and just it opens up doors to draw inspiration from those athletes, and as well tying in any of the things moving forward with my brand and foundation. You know, I'll have other athletes in there, and I think that creates a great dynamic for kids to not only look to what I'm up to, but what we are up to collectively as athletes.
Sal, in Australia, a lot of people don't know that, but our biggest sporting program, Wild World of Sports, you host regularly. What's it like for you interacting with some of your sporting heroes when you're doing that program?
Well, from a young age, I just, having that huge passion for sport, it's just like, well, I'm watching it, why not go and talk about it? And that's where I got the foot in the door to work with great crew at Wild World of Sport, and just being in studio and just actually interviewing athletes, not being the interviewee, is wild. You know, I'm just in awe of some of these athletes sitting there, and it's almost like, oh, well, I got to ask the question, and you know, you really got to be on the ball, and it makes me tick. It's got that adrenaline to it, just like surfing. So I think having all those different things is going to keep me, I guess, focused when I come back to my arena and compete at my best.
We love seeing you testing yourself in competition, but also out of the water. Stick around after the break. We're going to talk Target Maui Pro and the world title with Sally Fitzgibbons. You're watching Dawn Patrol. Ronnie with Rosie and Sally Fitzgibbons. Sal, Honolua Bay, the last stop on the championship tour for 2015, and really one of the rare times that we've got to the end of the season and you're not in title contention. How does that feel?
It's a bit of a strange feeling. It's not like, I guess at this stage, it's not like awesome. Like usually I've come in here with those extra added nerves that come with a title race. I guess sitting here now, it is a relaxed feeling. I've come because I just want to put in that really strong performance. I want to finish with a win. Like that's all I'm focused on this event. And yeah, it's a welcome change. I guess this could really kickstart, I guess, my campaign for next year. And I've got a lot of things to work on just individually in my surfing that I've been working on at home. And I just want to bring that to the table and get used to this new equipment.
Beautiful.
And Ronnie mentions unfamiliar territory for you starting this event in that situation. So you look at Carissa Moore, she pretty much started her role after taking out the win here and started her campaign. So is that something that you're looking to replicate?
Oh, for sure. I think Carissa got a lot of momentum from here, and just being so comfortable at home, I think she's going to come out firing once again. But it's, I still look back across my year and I've had some great moments, and I feel like I've grown as a surfer and really incorporated a lot of different maneuvers and different little intricacies to my style, and I just want to come out attacking and be on the front foot for this one.
It's been an amazing year, Sal. Here you are with that helmet, which you're able to surf without now. That injury's starting to really heal.
Oh, it's crazy looking back, and when you watch your footage after a heat and you're just kind of forgetting that you're in that helmet at times because it was so long, and it is so nice and free to just feel the water through your hair again. And there was definitely tough moments through that European leg where the surf was pretty subpar for training. It was early, it was cold, and I've looked at my helmet and I've got to tape up, and I've just gone, I've just got to use everything I've got just to put that helmet back on, like just the headaches and things that I had to move through. But every time I did, it made me think of, remember what happened for you to be in this situation and what you pushed through. So I wouldn't change it for sure.
And it sounds like, you're evolving and obviously learning from your wins, learning from your losses. Everyone handles their losses differently. What do you take away from it, and how do you kind of, get over those hurdles?
Well, the loss here last year really ripped my heart out. It was devastating because I think the longer it goes on, people say it gets easier to lose and deal with those emotions. I think it's quite the opposite. As you get older, you get a bit softer. I think just having that family support and that belief is... I don't go into any event thinking I can't win it. I want to go in, I want to win the world title. And for that heat to be so close, I think I needed an 8.9 and got like an 8.7. And I just remember, I looked back over my shoulder, I just paddled into the bay and just paddled into the trees and just had to have a think. Like, it's just that emotion pours out of you, and I'm not afraid to wear my heart on my sleeve because I think it's great for people to see that are following the tour and that next generation to go after it. It's not like uncool to try. It's like, if you really want it and passionate about it, chase it. And it took a lot of rebuilding, but I think that's given me a lot of strength to come back this year.
And we've heard rumours of you running marathons after heat losses, and you actually had your family on the point here. Is it true you walked home after that loss?
Yeah, last year I wandered into the bushes. I was pretty distraught. I had a lot of emotion, a lot of tears, and I tried to really say to myself, like, don't walk out of this forest until you believe that you're a champion and that you can come back from this. And I did wander a little further than I thought, and I was wandering back across the road, and it's a true testament to the people here that there was a couple watching on the cliff, and they picked me up, so I hitchhiked back up the hill and found my family. It was a bit of a story, but it was tough, and I think it's not that you're sad to see someone else lose. They've worked just as hard and they're a deserved world champion. It's just something that every person and every athlete's got to go through those emotions.
One of the cool things that I remember from last year is, even though you were devastated by that loss, there was a title party for Steph that night, and you got all dressed up and you came in and you gave all your title rivals a huge hug, and everyone was so happy to see you there. It must be fun to enjoy those moments too.
Oh, for sure. I think you really do have to celebrate the amazing moments, those amazing achievements, and Steph is an incredible champion, 6-time world chair, which is amazing. That I think is often forgotten. They go, oh, when are you going to win your next one and your next one? But if you look back, 6 is wow. So I think just to be there and celebrate that moment after a great year is something that you got to pick yourself back up and hop out of your own moment and own emotions and go celebrate someone else.
Obviously you're focused on the win here, but we do have an epic world title showdown that's going to unfold, and Courtney chasing her first win, Carissa after her third. How do you see this title race playing out? Who do you think is going to get the job done?
It was a bit different. I got to sit back with my popcorn on top of the cliff and see what unfolds. But I think Chris is coming in with, as I said, a lot of fire. She's pretty comfortable here, and she's had the win last year. But Courtney, I think I just really appreciate. She's similar to myself in the way that She has that work ethic behind the scenes. She's had a fantastic year in growth in the way she's structured her performances and hasn't really wavered, with that extra title pressure. She's had some great event wins and loves the big wave, so I think it's a great matchup, But I think you just, as a competitor myself, you're just going in and you're like, well, I want to win. I want to win too. There's a title race, but I want to win. So I think they're going to have a great battle, but if they come up against myself, every champion that's going for that race, they want to verse those other surfers at their best, and then they want to beat them. So I think some great battles in store.
Beautiful, Sal. Well, it's been amazing having you on the show. I've learned a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing your performance in this last contest. And again, congratulations on your engagement. Everyone's super stoked for you.
Thank you. It should be a grandstand finish.
It's going to be awesome. Well, make sure you tune in bright and early tomorrow morning, 7:30 a.m. We'll have the official call. And don't forget, stay tuned to worldsurfleague.com for updates on the Vans Triple Crown of Surfing. Sunset has just kicked off.